electronic media, you have to be careful. I mean, it's a good thing, but it can also be a very challenging thing.
Yeah, you make a great point, because the pressure is on traditional media so much to get exclusives anymore because of social media, and because it's so easy for, you know, a rumor to spread like wildfire, and all of a sudden, and I mean, terrific credit to, I think, Trevor, the Chancellor, for the respect that they showed in being able to keep it under wraps as long as it did. I mean, by the time calls were made, you know, it's still been fairly quiet, and out of respect to the wrestlers, they were able to go through that final day of competition without knowing what's gone on. But as sort of a follow-up to this, because of the story breaking in the newspaper, if you watched television from that moment forward, you can tell that there were a lot of news directors who got chewed out because the paper beat them that badly on the story, because they were searching for any little nugget that they could. And to this, I mean, it's been several weeks now, and they continue to try and drum up stories that frankly aren't really stories, just because they got beaten badly.
And we want them to do it. And we also want our baseball team to do it, and we want our softball team to do it. Then all of a sudden, you basically created a situation where if you have 225 athletes, you have 225 official spokespersons of the university. And then all it takes is that one that sends out the wrong information. And this thing isn't going to be figured out anytime soon. It needs to be, we need it for marketing. It's a quick way of getting it out, getting our athletes and UNO's athletes to become icons. One of the ways you can do that is through the social media, but there are definite risks, but from a marketing point of view, we've got to also get more aggressive, and we've got to
We use it kind of back and forth. You know, there are the challenges on how much information you're putting out there, but it definitely can help, both for, you know, in our instance, both for storm chasers and then for the special events that we're doing at Warner Park. But there is a challenge. You know, if there are questions that are asked of the organization, or there are criticisms of the organization, you know, everybody manages their Facebook and their Twitter differently. We don't delete anything, even if there are negative things that are put up there, unless they're lewd comments or, you know, derogatory or, you know, language that we don't want up there. But for the most part, we answer everything that's up there for the most part, and try to have it as easy as a direct communication. Because I think when a question's asked or a concern is raised, obviously all the followers are going to be able to read it. And if you can answer that in a way that either addresses it and changes that perception, it gives you an opportunity to not only do it for one person now, because it's on Facebook, it's not an email, to be able to do it for everybody.
It was running rampant, and that's, you know, something from a marketing standpoint, from a PR standpoint, being able to control your own brand. We kind of let our coaches do some dictating there, and it got way out of hand where logos were being used wrong. I mean, that old logo that we've since retired was created because some of our coaches didn't like the other logo. Instead of saying, no, this is the logo we're going to use, we had, bus wasn't being driven by the person who was supposed to be driving the bus. So that logo, that's how that logo came about, and so it was an effort to bring some sort of certainty and some standard to how we were being represented.
And I think the company